French director Luc Besson thinks that he's one of France's great talents of all time. I think he's a second-rate hack who deludes himself that because he made The Fifth Element, Leon the Professional and whatever the hell Lucy was, will ignore the fact that he was responsible for Taken 2, Taken 3, Transporter 2 and From Paris with Love among others. Now actual film legends John Carpenter, The Thing, Halloween, The Fog and his lawyers think that he's a plagiarist, and shockingly Beeson's lawyers think that he would never stoop so low. The judge agreed with John Carpenter. A bit of backstory. In 2012, Beeson wrote a film called Lockout, which pretty much every critic going called a half-assed remake of Escape from New York, and John Carpenter agreed, launching a case for plagiarism. Beeson and his Europa Corp production banner, along with the film's directors, co-writers Steven St. Leger and James Mather, lost the first round and was ordered to pay $95,000 or €85,000. He appealed and must now pay Carpenter $500,000, which is still less than the $2.4 million that Carpenter originally wanted. Beeson and his lawyers have always maintained that he would never intentionally plagiarise such a famous movie. And besides, Escape from New York itself owes much to classic Western Rio Bravo and Mad Max. But the judges said there were many similarities between the films. The heroes of both got into prison by flying in a glider space shuttle, had to confront inmates led by a chief with a strange right arm, found hugely important briefcases, and met a former sidekick who then dies. And at the end of both films, the heroes keep secret documents recovered during their mission. But really, if anyone should be suing Beeson for this film, it should be the people who made the sci-fi classic Fortress 2 Re-Entry, of which Lockout is a virtual clone. Now, I'm not disputing the fact that both films are incredibly similar, but if you subscribe to the theory that there are only 7 stories, then inevitably there will be some overlap. Hell, anti-hero faces impossible odds to get back the MacGuffin seems to be the plot of half the movies I treasure from my childhood. Will Mr. Carpenter be suing them too? Or what about Hideo Kojima, who has admitted that the main character of his legendary Metal Gear Solid series Solid Snake is partially influenced by Snake Plissken? Hell, in Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, Snake actually uses the alias Plissken to hide his real identity during most of the game. I mean, look at what happened in music. After Blurred Lines was sued by Marvin Gaye's estate, not for crimes against music, but for infringing the copyright of Got to Give It Up, for which Robin Thicke, T.I. and Pharrell Williams were forced to pay $7.4 million, although they have claimed they will appeal the verdict, a result of this case has been that music has become a lot blander, with people afraid of releasing songs that were based upon their favourite songs for fear of being sued. I mean, how many great songs haven't been written or released for fear of the lawsuit? How can you claim that your film or song which was influenced by Exhibit A isn't a direct copy or plagiarism of said exhibit? If this sets a precedent, then what will films do? Make even blander, safer remakes like the type I've had to suffer through this summer? Or will they take a chance on smaller independent films which could be sued at any second? What, for example, is stopping the owners of the copyright of Fight Club from suing the people behind Traders other than the fact that we don't talk about Fight Club? Look, I love film. I love films. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't. And I really do love it when an old tale is told in a new and refreshing way. But what do you guys think? I'm Daniel, this is A What on Earth. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. By the way, the copyright on this article is probably owned by Miles Teller and Jai Courtney, so please don't sue me.